Alright, hi guys, good morning. My name is Alexus and today is my 26th birthday. Super crazy, I can't believe I'm 26, but I'm very excited for today. I just watched the sunrise at the beach in Hawaii and yeah, it's been a great start to my day. I wanted to film this quick video for you guys, which is 26 things that I've learned in 26 years. I did a similar video like this when I turned 23, so I think it was a little bit more difficult to come up with 26 new things that weren't the same as those. But yeah, I hope you like them and we'll just get right into it. Okay, so number one is that the back pain really does start at 25. Like lower back pain, all of that. I thought everyone was like just being dramatic. Thought, oh, that's not gonna be me. I'm like pretty active. I haven't had any back problems, but it really does start at 25. I've just noticed that I don't know, I've had way more back issues. So I think it has to do from like a lot of sitting at a desk or standing at the lab bench. But yeah, I think it's really important that as we get older, even at like 25 or in your 20s, you should start like stretching regularly. I think moving in general is just really good for your body because we spend a lot of our time sitting at a desk or not moving. Okay, the next is gray hairs. I've been getting so many and I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or like grad school is really stressful. Probably a combination of the two, but I would not recommend pulling out any gray hairs, as like tempting as it is. Everyone says it's a myth. My mom says for every one hair you pull, 7 more grow back. I looked this up online and everyone says that it's a myth, but at the same time, I think it's really not, because ever since I started pulling them like 1 or 2 years ago, I realized that there are just so many more. And I don't think I'm like really that much more stressed. I blame it for like picking them in the first place. And now my mom always says like, I told you to stop picking them. And I was like, yeah, I should have listened. So don't pull gray hairs. Would not recommend. Just like you get one, forget about it. Okay, next I realized the importance of single tasking. It's very tempting to like multitask, and I think we do it all the time. Like sometimes you could be watching TV with someone, but you're on your phone and you're like also eating. And that's like doing really so many things at once. And I think it's just generally good to like do one thing, focus on it, be present. I guess an exception to this is that if you're doing something physical, like running, it's okay to listen to a podcast or listen to some music. In that case, like I listen to a lot of music when I'm doing lab work or podcast, because the thing that I'm doing is so repetitive and like doesn't require me to use my brain as much. So yeah, in that case, I think it's okay. So next is the importance of doing deep work, which requires intense focus and a decent amount of time in order for you to like get in a flow of doing whatever work you're doing. And I realized that this is really important for me, especially as a student and for someone that's doing YouTube. Like I need decent chunks of time, usually like 2, but sometimes 4 or 5 to like get quality studying done or writing. You know, I was working on my prospectus for most of the like first half of the year, and I found deep work to be like really important. So take the time to block out chunks in your calendar where it's like a few hours where you can just work on something that's really important and requires intense focus, which a lot of things do, like a lot of important things do. And this also helps with us like editing videos, because it's much easier to just get in the flow, work for like a few hours than to work like a few minutes at a time. That's okay for like shallower things like emails or like scheduling appointments, stuff like that. But for important, more difficult things, I think it's really important that you schedule these deep work chunks of time. Okay, the next tip is that I wish I would have started building credit much sooner in my like early 20s or even 18, like as soon as you can, I would sign up for a credit card and start building credit very early. Because your credit score is really, really important for so many things, like renting a place, buying a place. I think even like your car insurance could be lower if you have better credit, things like that. But yeah, start building credit early. My parents were like really afraid of credit cards, so I didn't start doing this until a few years ago. But I really wish I would have started sooner. And also be very responsible with your credit card. Only spend money that you have, and usually you want to stay below like 3% of your credit limit. I think it's 30%, but I think I typically do like 3 or something crazy. Like you can really just pay gas on your credit card and pay it off right away, buy a stick of gum. And rather than like trusting me for financial advice, I would go check out this YouTube channel by a guy, Graham Stephan. He gives really awesome like tips for financial tips, and he also makes these videos on like the best credit cards of 2022 or like 2023, or best credit cards for beginners. And this is kind of where I learned all of these tips on which credit cards would be good for me, how to sign up for them, and how to use them responsibly. Using them responsibly is also very, very important because your credit score is like nothing to mess with. Okay, next, continuing with like this sort of financial theme, I think it's really important to start investing early. So as you begin to earn money, I think it's really important that you're not only saving it in like a savings account, but also investing it into the stock market and stuff. Yeah, investing wasn't really something that my parents told me about, or I'm not even sure it's something that they did, but it's something that I've kind of learned by being online and YouTube finance videos and stuff like that. And yeah, it's really important to start investing your money, saving up for retirement. So if you're in the US, that means you can like start a Roth IRA or something like that. I think there's like equivalents in other countries such as the UK and stuff, but yeah, you want to look into that because you want to make sure that you're putting money away, not only in a savings account, but where it can like grow over time. So yeah, I'm just a person on the internet. I'm in no position to be giving any sort of financial advice. So do the research for yourself, and I would highly recommend checking out some like finance channels such as Graham Stephan that I mentioned in the last one. Nate O'Brien is a really good like sort of investing channel that I really like watching. And also I think Ali Abdaal has a really like good how to invest for beginners video and like guide. So I would go check out those before starting anything. But yeah, invest and invest early. Even if you don't have that much money to put into it, I think just learning and putting like, I don't know, even if it was $1 a day or like $1 a month would be a really, really good place to start to just see how it works and yeah, check it out. Okay, so the next thing is to be someone that always keeps your word. So if you say you're gonna do something for someone, do it. Yeah, if you commit to something, follow through with it. And yeah, I think that this is really important to like be someone that other people can like trust and count on. So yeah, if you say you're gonna do something, do it. And also like don't overcommit and say you're gonna do a lot of things and follow through with none of them. Because I think we know people that say they're gonna do things and like never do, versus people that like when they say they're gonna do something, they always do it. And I think it's better to be the person that always keeps their word. So this next tip kind of follows along nicely with the last one, but it's to say what you mean. Like, don't say yes or maybe if you mean no. Because I realize I do it a lot, actually. Like, someone will tell me about an idea or something that they want to do, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. Like, maybe I'll go. When in reality, I know that it's not something I'm ever gonna go to, but I'm just gonna be nice. But then they expect that you go, and when you don't go, it kind of looks bad on you because you're not someone that's keeping your word, right? If you say you're gonna go, you should go. I mean, unless something crazy comes up that was really unexpected. But if you mean no from the beginning, don't say yes. And this typically helps for like so many of your relationships, right? Like, say what you mean, be honest. You really don't need to people please all that much. Like, people that are friends and family and people important and close to you should be able to be fine with you saying no to something sometimes. And yeah, also kind of going along with this, I think if it's not a heck yeah from the beginning, then it should just be a no. Like, if it's not something that you really, really want to do or something that you're really, really excited to do, then just don't do it. And don't say like maybe, just say no, like I actually have this other thing, or yeah. I mean, they don't even need a reason, honestly. You could just say no, and that should be okay. You decide how you spend your time. Okay, so the next is that your grandparents and your parents will not be in your life forever. And I think it's really important that we remember this, because sometimes we just assume that we're always going to see them. So maybe we like kind of take for granted just the fact that they're gonna be there. I lost my great grandma this year, so I thought this was like a really important thing, or something that I've been thinking about way more. Like, I think it's really important that you just like call your parents or your grandparents more, just to say hi, send them a little text, a little picture about your day, like something that you did that week. Yeah, if you guys live in the same place, like take a trip with them. I know I went to San Francisco with my grandparents because they grew up there, and we had like the most amazing time with them. So many great memories. My grandma also came to visit me in Hawaii with my sister, and like now we just have all of those great memories. So yeah, take the trip, spend more time with them, and also like even just take them out for a meal or something really, really small. But yeah, just truly try to appreciate every moment that you have with them, because you never know when the last time is going to be. Yeah, it can be really unexpected, so appreciate them while you have them, because parents and grandparents are like the best and some of the most important people in our lives. And this also holds true for like any friends or other people that you care about, not only your parents and your grandparents. Okay, so the next tip is therapy. I believe that like everyone should be in therapy or can benefit from therapy. I think in the past there was like more of a stigma around mental health and therapy and like seeking out help, but now it's like so mainstream. And yeah, I just realized that like there's so many benefits to it. I personally have been using BetterHelp therapy, which can get to be a little expensive and they don't take your insurance. So I've also signed up for like therapy through Kaiser, because if you have a Kaiser plan, it's included. And yeah, I just think it's really great. It's like 45 minutes to an hour of just you time, where you can talk about really anything that's on your mind or anything that you think is bothering you. And after every session, I just feel so much lighter. So I'm definitely gonna stick with this for like a few more months. Yeah, I just think there's so many benefits to it. Okay, the next thing is that it's actually cool to not drink now. And I feel like there are just so many people, especially like celebrities that you hear about, that are going sober now. And I think it's really great, because I think we should know how to have a good time without drugs or alcohol involved. And I feel like a lot of your early 20s is like a lot of alcohol, because you can finally drink, go out, so you just have drinks with your friends, with dinner, and to like have a good time and to celebrate at concerts and stuff. And yeah, just realizing that you don't need any of this to like have a good time. You really should be able to have a good time just doing things that are fun to you. And if you need a drink or like anything to have a good time, then maybe it's like not something worth doing in the first place. So drinking less has so many other like health benefits, of course, and I think it's great for like doing more of the things that you actually want to do, not just doing them because you know drinks are going to be involved. I haven't actually like gone fully sober yet, even though it's something that's been on my mind, but I don't drink that much as it is, I think. But yeah, I think just like reducing it is generally pretty good. And you save so much money doing so it's also something to consider. Next is like kind of random, but I think it's really nice to have plants around, whether it's inside your house or like an outdoor garden, because there's just like so much calmness and peacefulness when you just take time to like water your plants or like repotting your plants and stuff like that. So yeah, I think caring for plants can be like really relaxing, and plants also filter air, so they're really good to have like in your house or like in your office, and they're nice. Okay, so next, I think it is not completely worth it to cut out coffee. I tried doing it a few times a while back, and I don't know. I don't really think it was worth it. That being said, I have switched to drinking mainly tea, like 2 cups a day usually, and I think tea is a little bit better. I do drink coffee now from time to time. I tried to avoid having it like every single day in order to not get like the coffee withdrawals and the headaches, and I find that now it makes me super anxious. Most times. It's just like so much stronger and makes me feel weird compared to tea, which I have like 1 to 2 cups a day and I'm like totally fine. It feels like a more like calm energy and like alertness rather than like jittery coffee. I need to be doing something. Yeah, I feel crazy with coffee now, but I love it, so I continue drinking it, just less. Okay, going along with that, I think it's really important to like limit or just not have caffeine after noon, because you know, like coffee and tea and caffeine just stays in our system for a little while, so you definitely don't want to have it like past 3 p.m. Before 2 p.m. would be better, but I try to do like before noon just so that it doesn't affect your sleep. Most of what I've seen that's like negative about caffeine is that it affects your sleep and you don't sleep as well, and when you don't sleep as well, you're just like less healthy in general. Caffeine has great benefits when it comes to like alertness and like focusing on your work during the day, and in order to like limit the downsides of caffeine, just like stop drinking it pretty early in the day, and then you shouldn't see any like negative impacts on your sleep. At least that's what's worked for me. Okay, next, if you're someone that does like a lot of reading for fun or like self-improvement and stuff like that, I think there's like no perfect note-taking system. I've tried so many different ways, right? Like just highlighting the book, or like folding the pages, writing on the books, writing in a separate like Word doc, or using Notion. And yeah, there's no like perfect system. I think the most important thing is that you're applying what you read. Like if you're reading for fun, there's no point in like taking notes unless you want to like recommend the book to someone or like do a book review, something like that. But if you're reading for like self-improvement, I think the best thing you can do is like, okay, what's 1 or 2 like key takeaways from this book that I can apply to my life right now, and like begin with that, because you can read all you want, but the most important thing is that you're applying what you're learning to your life. Okay, the next one is about like watching Netflix and TV. My like main rules for it are, it's okay if I'm doing it with like intention, as long as it's not like mindlessly binge watching, then I think it's pretty okay. And I also like to use it as like a social activity, right? So it's totally okay to be watching Netflix if I'm watching it with my partner or family or friends, because then it's like a social activity, something that we're experiencing together. So another thing that you can do is to watch Netflix in a different language, so that every time you watch Netflix, you're practicing your Spanish or your German. This is something that I started doing for like maybe a year now, honestly. And yeah, it's just been great for like practicing my Spanish or like working on German a little bit. And it doesn't feel like time wasted, because you're watching something that's entertaining, but you're also like learning a language or like practicing listening to a new language. So yeah, just some tips for like not feeling guilty about watching Netflix shows or TV. Okay, so the next one has to do with forgiveness. And I feel like I've been learning a lot about forgiveness lately. And the most important thing I've learned about it is that forgiveness is a decision that you make when you're ready. And the whole point of it is for you to feel better, for you to like release negative emotions that you have about something or towards someone that has like wronged you. And it doesn't even need to mean that the person is like deserving of your forgiveness or that the person has apologized and feels really bad. Like you can forgive someone that has never apologized to you, because that's what you need to do in order to feel better. And yeah, forgiveness also doesn't mean like reconciliation. It doesn't mean that you're going to be friends with this person afterward or that you want to like continue having a relationship with them. It's just something that you do to release these negative emotions and to like be more at peace with yourself. Next is that pet sitting is one of the best side hustles because you're getting paid to spend time with a cat or a dog, you know, whichever one you like more. And yeah, it's just really nice. It's especially nice if you don't have your own pets or if you're a student. You can work however much you want. You get to choose which pets and which people you want to like help out. It really doesn't get any better to get paid to hang out with pets, especially if you like pets. If you don't like pets, then that's like a different story and maybe not a great tip. Next is taxes, right? They're really important, especially important as you get older when you have to do your own taxes. A key tip here is that it's so much easier when it comes to tax time if throughout the year you're keeping track of like how many miles or roughly what percentage of the time are you driving your car for work, what purchases are like work related or even school related, right? Because you can include that on your taxes. And also like keeping track of things you've donated and keeping those receipts, because all of that can be used to like lower your taxes later. Unfortunately, taxes are like just a part of life and a little annoying, but these are some ways to make it easier when it comes around to like filling out all your forms and everything. Next, I truly believe that there's nothing that a little sunshine, water, and like playing in the ocean can't fix. And I think it's like pretty difficult to be really sad or like not present when you're in nature or at the beach. I don't think I've had like a really bad time at the beach. Usually I go to like de-stress and it always helps. So yeah. And if you don't have a beach, you can go to like a lake or just somewhere with water, somewhere with nature, even drink some water. I think that can help. Okay, next is that healing is a journey. And there's gonna be times when you think you have things a little bit more figured out, you're feeling really good, really positive. And there's also gonna be times when you just feel like this is a low, like I'm going backwards or I'm back where I started, and it can be really frustrating. But I think it's important that you know, like healing and self-improvement isn't a linear process. There's going to be like ups and downs, but I think you're always going to be getting better. As long as you're working on it, you're working on yourself, you're always going to be getting better. And self-improvement is like something that you can work on every day, really in so many ways. So yeah, just be easy on yourself, because healing and self-improvement is a journey. It's not gonna happen overnight, and you're never really done. You know, it's always something that you're gonna continue to be working on, and that's totally okay. Next, I think it's really important to learn about and develop healthy coping mechanisms. So whether this is like journaling, exercising, breath work, yoga, meditation, it really doesn't matter what it is, but find something that works for you, because there's always going to be stressors in life. Like, life is generally stressful, whether it's school, work, relationships. Yeah, so find something that helps you like manage the stress. And the sooner you can figure it out, the more you can practice it, and I think the better you'll feel. The important thing is that it doesn't have to be like one thing. It could be that like meditating just does not work for you, but you like being in a room, like listening to music and just relaxing that way. Or maybe you like surfing, maybe you like hiking, being in nature. Just really finding what it is for you that helps you like deal with stress and manage anxiety and stuff like that. Next is that Notion. I think everyone should be using Notion. Notion is amazing. This is not sponsored by Notion, but I wish it was. I use Notion as sort of a second brain to help store and organize everything in my life. Everything, really. Like, I use it for grad school plans. I'm using it now as I'm studying for comps. I store my book notes in Notion, YouTube video ideas and like video planning in Notion, even like personal and relationship goals, stuff like that, travel plans. It's so flexible and there's so many like great templates or videos about it, so go check it out. If you feel like you need to just organize your life, I think this is a really good tool. Next is that running a marathon for the first time was incredible. It was an amazing experience and I think it was just like a huge achievement for me. I never thought running a marathon was anything I wanted to do until I signed up for it and did it. It was a really great time. I really loved the like mental and physical challenge. Yeah, just like pushing yourself when you're already so tired. I really think it's like a huge mental game. Months and months of preparation and the afterglow effect, like the feeling afterward is just the best thing. And I'll let you know if doing it a second time feels the same or if it feels worth it, or yeah, if it just can't compare to the first time. Next, this isn't going to be for everyone, but I think that menstrual cups are just way better, way more convenient than other options. It's way less wasteful and better for the environment. So if you're interested in it, I think you should check it out and give it a try. There is a really steep learning curve with it. I was like so frustrated in the beginning, but now I just love them. And yeah, I really think you should give it a try if you've thought about it before, but like maybe haven't seriously tried it. Lastly, being bored is just so good. It's like good for your mind. It's really good to process like the events that have been going on and to just give your mind a break. Like, when was the last time you stood in line at a grocery store and didn't pull out your phone? And I feel like any like chance of boredom that we get now, like any tiny bit of it, we just fill with like pulling out our phone and like distracting ourselves on social media or something like that. I think it's just really good to be bored and do nothing sometimes. I'm often just tempted to like pack my day with a bunch of things, even if they're fun things. It's just like packed with fun things, work, dinner, that it feels like there's no downtime. And I think downtime is just so important. Like, your mind really does just need a break and to like wander for a bit. I think the challenge is to like try to be a little bit more bored. I realized it's pretty difficult to do for even like 5 minutes sometimes. So yeah, give that a try and let me know how it works for you. Those are 26 life lessons that I've learned. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know which one was your favorite, or drop some life lessons down below in the comments. Please give this video a big like if you enjoyed it. And if you're interested in more life lessons, check out my 23 life lessons video that I did 3 years ago now, which is just insane. I can't believe I'm 26. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.